Hello, good morning, students. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about sentence completion. It is a very essential section in verbal ability test. So one after another, we'll discuss about it. As we have learned in a previous lecture about basics of English grammar, and afterward that we have discussed about the analogies. We have discussed about analogies types, its questions, its solutions, everything we have discussed. In today's lecture, sentence completion is a portion that there you have to find out how this particular sentence we can complete. There are certain measures we have to take while solving such kind of questions. So let's start. One after another, we will discuss about it. In this particular lecture, not only I will give you how to solve tips to how to solve this sentence completion or how we can complete sentence, but there are some slides I have made just for your practice. If you won't be able to solve that, then I can help you in this matter also. So one after another we will discuss. It is the easiest way to get this kind of knowledge, and I hope you all will learn easily. So let's start. Sentence completion, it tests your ability to use vocabulary. The purpose, the objective behind giving sentence completion section in GATE examination or any other competitive examination is to find out the ability how can you use vocabulary properly. Ability to recognize logical consistency among the elements in sentence. See, we all read sentence within a fraction of a minute. We can read the sentence, but we should know this is the half part. This is the half portion of the sentence. Remaining we will have to complete with the help of our knowledge or vocabulary. I would suggest in this section that you please extend your vocabulary daily. At least one or two words you have to read. Not only you have to read that word, but you have to use that words in your sentence. So what will happen whenever there will be a communication or whenever you need to solve, you should have this word, and you can use these words also. What makes sentence completion difficult? Vocabulary. We will try to identify what is the causes that make sentence completion vocabulary difficult. Use of words like nonplussed, harbingers, eclectic. Use of secondary meaning, example economy, restraint, toy, dally. Part B, grammatical complexity. They includes entire range of grammatical possibilities, use of clauses, prepositional phrases, gerunds, etc. in a convoluted manner. What should be the tone? Writer's attitude towards the subject matter, ironic, playful, skeptical, somber, etc. So when you read the particular sentence, you should understand the attitude of the writers, how the subject plays important role, how you can complete the remaining sentence with the help of using this knowledge. Style. Ideas may be expressed in different manners, orantly or separately, poetically or prosaically, formally or informally, etc. An author style depends on such details as word choice, imagery, repetition, rhythm, sentence structures, and length. Thought extenders continue the idea, thought contrasters reverse the idea. It may be difficult for all of you to get through this kind of detailed information about sentence completion, but this is an integral part of this section, sentence completion, we should know. Generally student ask me, sir, this is a very heaviest thing that we learn, can you give me some tricks or tactics so that they can easily learn, or they ask in such a way that they want to go through the particular method. Here I am going to share you some tips and tactics. The first point, use information about, read the sentence, think of a word, make sense. When you read the sentence, think of a word. You should think of a word which you read. Just you start, and when you make the end, it is not like that, you won't get anything. You have to read the sentence, you have to think a word, try to find out the sense of the sentence. So what will happen, you can identify the meaning of the word used in the sentence. Getting? Look at all possible answers. When the time comes to choose the correct alternative or correct options in given particular question, you will have to look at all possible answers. Not first, not second. You will have to go through all fours or five, whatever options are given there. So what will happen? The most correct possible answer would be your answer. In double blank options testing, the first word in each choice. In double blank options testing, the first word in each choice. Every sentence has a different meaning. Every sentence is different from another. So read the particular word carefully. Watch for single word that link one part of the sentence to another. You can do this also. You can watch for single word that link one part of the sentence to another. There will be different words that will be added in a sentence. Their relation we need to find out so that we can understand the meaning of the sentence easily. Break down complex sentences, simpler components. There are sentences which are complex also. You will have to convert it by your understanding. With the help of your understanding, you can make the remaining part. Even you can choose the correct alternatives given in the options. Check whether the metaphor controls the choice of words. This is also very important tactics. Here you have to check whether the metaphor controls the choice of words. Sentence completions test your ability to use the information found in complex but complete sentences in order to correctly complete the sentence. As I told you in the previous part, that you need to understand the remaining part will be able or will be responsible for making a complete sentence. Sentence completion states two separate aspects of your verbal skills, your vocabulary and your ability to follow the internal logic of sentences. These sentences are often quite complex. Fortunately, there are some strategies that will greatly increase your score on these questions. Each of these questions has one blank, or on some test, two blanks within a single sentence. Often the sentences are long and difficult to follow, but with the practice you can learn to master them. In particular one sentence also there will be more than one blank. There may be two blanks also, but if you practice it well, definitely you would have a habit to make the complete sentence. This one I have deliberately added in this section. I wanted to make your practice, but just because we are conducting the online classes, it is not possible. So this is also one way, with the help of this PPT also you can get more and more information, and I hope you all will learn. Example which we are going to discuss now, this all already come, or all these all questions already asked in different competitive examinations. So make sure you would be able to solve this properly. I'm going to read the question first. I will ask for this options, which is the correct one. I will give you justification for the same, and you will have to note down, because then only you can understand what can be the correct way, what is the correct answer. The first one: she hadn't eaten all day, and by the time she got home, she was option A, blighted; option B, confutative; option C, ravenous; option D, ostentatious; or option E, blissful. While reading the particular sentence or particular question number one, you must be getting the options which you have that are difficult to understand. That's why I told you in the previous lecture or previous slide also, that you need to extend your vocabulary, you need to develop your vocabulary, you need to read at least two words, three words, you need to memorize it properly, and then only you can solve such kind of sentence completions examples. It is not limited to GATE examination, but it has been asked in every competitive examination, whichever subject, whichever examination you are appearing, and English is the subject which is included in almost every competitive examination. So when this question comes, you must be surprised why I'm giving this wide description about it, because the option, when you read options, you find difficult to understand because you never read it, you never read it. So what will happen? You would be confused which would be the correct answer. So let's check the first one. She hadn't eaten all day, and by the time she got home, she was option C, ravenous. Ravenous is adjective, means extremely hungry, means extremely hungry. So we know the meaning of, if we know the meaning of ravenous, then we can easily add this particular word in the blank. She hadn't eaten all day, and by the time she got home, she was extremely hungry. That means she was extremely ravenous. Example number 2. The movie offended many of the parents of its younger viewers by including unnecessary dash or blank in the dialogue. Now it, as compared to example number 1, example number 2 is bit easy. You must be getting what I'm talking about, or what information this particular sentence is sharing with us. The movie offended many of the parents of its younger viewers by including unnecessary dash in the dialogue. So vulgarity, verbosity, vocalizations, garruliousness, tonality, and the correct answer that you might got, that is vulgarity. Vulgarity means, it is noun, means offensive speech or conduct. Offensive speech or conduct. So here we will consider as a conduct, because it is spreading through dialogue. Getting me? So how the answer will be? The movie offended many of the parents of its younger viewers by including unnecessary vulgarity in the dialogue. Now let's move for example number 3. His neighbors found his blank manner bossy and irritating, and they stopped inviting him to backward barbecues. I read one more time so that you should understand what I'm talking about. His neighbors found his dash manner bossy, and irritating, and they stopped inviting him to backward barbecues. By reading this sentence, you must be understanding he's talking about his neighbor. He's not inviting to his backward barbecues. Why? Answer options are given there, and the correct answer is magisterial. Magisterial, which meaning actually this is adjective, means overbearing or overbearing or offensively self-assured. Offensively self-assured. So then the answer will be his neighbor found his magisterial manner bossy and irritating, and they stopped inviting him to backward barbecues because of his overbearing behavior or offensively self-assured manner. He is not inviting by anyone. In this example also, they are not inviting him to backward barbecues. Example number 4. Stephen is always dash about showing up for work because he feels that the tardiness is a sign of irresponsibility. Have you got it? If not, then let's see. Stephen is always dash about showing up the work because he feels that tardiness is a sign of irresponsibility. And this in this particular example number 4, the answer would be punctual. Punctual, we all use punctuality. It is also adjective, means arriving exactly on time. Steven is always punctual about showing up for work because he feels that tardiness is a sign of irresponsibility. He is so punctual that he has showing up his work on time, and he feels that tardiness is a sign of irresponsibility. He's somewhere he's showing that if you procrastinate your work for the next day, then you won't be able to complete your work. So he has given his remark that punctuality does matter. Now check example number 5. Candace would blank her little sister into an argument by teasing her and calling her names. It is also easy to understand. I read and I want to make you understand. Candace would dash her little sister into an argument by teasing her and calling her names. When we get provoked, when we provoke someone, that time it happens mostly. In this particular sentence also, if you would see that Candace would provoke, option number B, her little sister into an argument by teasing her and calling her names. So this is the process of provoking somewhere. Getting me? So if you not get the other words meaning, this is very easy for you to understand that provoke means you're trying to make other involvement in this particular activity deliberately. Your action is deliberately done. So the answer is provoke, option B. Question number 6. The dress Ariel wore blank with small glassy beads creating a shimmering effect. I read. The dress Ariel wore dash with small glassy beads creating shimmering effect. And the answer would be C. Option would be C, that is scintillated. The dress Ariel wore scintillated with small glassy beads creating a shimmering effect. Now you must be thinking, What does it mean? Scintillated. The to scintillate means it's a verb. It means to emit or send forth sparks, spark or little flashes of light, creating a shimmering effect on sparkle. So the option is option number C. Option number C is the correct answer of question number 6. We should move for question number 7. Being able to afford this luxury car will dash getting a better paying job. In this question number 7, if you read the options are very common to understand. Still, some students don't know, but if you read the words more, then it will be easy for them to solve that. What it says, being able to afford this luxury car will dash getting a better paying job. In this particular question number 7, the option would be to necessitate. To necessitate. Being able to afford this luxury car will necessitate getting a better paying job. If you want, for example, in general communication we say, if you want to purchase this luxury car, if you are able to afford this car, you necessitate getting a better paying job, then only you would be able to get the job. To necessitate is a verb, means to make necessary, especially as a result. If you're having a result, then you can do anything. In this particular sentence, result represent means if you're having a payable job, then you would be able to afford a luxury car. So I hope you understood. The option D is the correct one. Necessitate. Next one. Let's move on. Levina unknowingly dash the thief by holding open the elevator doors and ensuring his escape. Getting? Levina unknowingly dash the thief by holding open the elevator doors and ensuring his escape. Answer would be to abate. C. Abate. Option number C. What does it mean? Abate means to assist, encourage, urge, or aid, usually in the act of wrongdoing. Getting? So, abated. Option C is the correct answer in question number 8. Levina unknowingly abated the thief by holding open the elevator doors and ensuring his escape. That means unknowingly Levina helped the thief because she wasn't knowing, and she encouraged indirectly to escape the particular thief from her home. Next one, Shakespeare. We know, British poet. Shakespeare, a dash or blank writer, entertained audiences by writing many tragic and comic plays. You must be getting this. Shakespeare is Shakespeare, an prolific writer, entertained audiences by writing many tragic and comic plays. We all know about Shakespeare and what he has done in English poetry, that everybody knows. So what is the correct answer in this particular example number 9? The answer is prolific. So you must be thinking, what does it mean? Prolific is a adjective, means abundantly creative. A person who is abundantly creative, that person called, what it called, prolific. Shakespeare is a prolific writer who entertained audience by writing many tragic and comic plays. So option number D is the correct one in question number 9. Let's take the simple one. Question number 10 will give you more information about it. I had the dash experience of sitting next to an over talkative passenger on my flight home from Brussels. If you're not getting the meaning, I would explain this. I had the means he had the dash experience. Here we are talking about the experience, good experience, bad experience, like that only. Of sitting next to an over talkative passenger. He was sitting with the over talkative passenger on his flight home from Brussels. So you must be finding this answer. Gilling, Galling, gilling. What does it mean? Gilling is an adjective which means is irritating, annoying, or exasperating. Getting me? The simple word is irritating. Galling meaning or galling's synonyms is irritating or annoying. A person who irritated all the time, that person called annoying, irritating, and galling. I had the galling experience, means so much irritating experience of sitting with the person who was so talkative when I was on my flight home from Brussels. So when he was traveling from his home to the Brussels, that time he was sitting to the next person who was so much talkative, means he was talking continuously and he was irritating also the same way. That time we use option number C, that is called gilling. Let's move for question number 11. Prince Philip had to choose marry the woman he loved and dash his right to the throne, or marry Lady Fiona and inherit the crown. Prince Philip, it is also example from Britain. Prince Philip had to choose marry the woman he loved and abdicate. Abdicate means what? Means to formally relinquish or surrender his power and responsibility. Getting me? Prince Philip had to choose marry the woman he loved and abdicate his right to the throne, or marry Lady Fiona and inherit the crown. Getting? So abdicate means to formally relinquish or surrender power. When you surrender your power, that time we can say abdicate. And Prince Philip had a choice whether you can marry to a woman he loved or he abdicate his right to the throne. So answer C is the correct one. Let's move for question number 12. If you will not do your work of your own dash, I have no choice but to penalize you if it is not done on time. Very easy example. Sometimes such kind of easy example also comes in examination, and even it can be a part of get examination. So you should be ready for that. If it is the difficult part, then there will be easy part too. I read one more time. If you will not do your work of your own dash, I have no choice but to penalize you if it is not done on time. Meaning is, the correct option is volition. 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 What does it mean? Volition is a noun which means accord, an act of exercise of will. It means accord, an act or exercise of will. Means if you are not willingly doing your work, then there won't spare any option or choice but to penalize you. So you will have to remember, if you will not do your work of your own volition, I have no choice but to penalize you if it is not done on time. So remember, such very interesting example also asked in examination. You should be ready for that. Example number 13. I hope you all are getting one after another. Not only I'm reading the sentences, but I want to make you understand for this. But I'm a little bit afraid about it, that options you need to choose, the correct option you need to choose by understanding the meaning of the sentence. That is the only, or that is the lone option you have. With the help of that, you can identify the correct answer. Okay, so you need to please read more vocabulary. You extend your vocabulary, develop your vocabulary, then it will be easy for you. After sitting in the sink for several days, the dirty food encrusted dishes became it's very natural. After sitting in the sink for several days, the dirty food, it is talking about dirty food, encrusted dishes became option number A, that is called malodorous, which means some words are difficult to pronounce. We need to practice it well. Malodorous means, it's also an adjective, means having a foul smelling odor. It's a bad smell, bad odor. Yeah? When after sitting in the sink of several days, the dirty food encrusted dishes became malodorous, means it's a bad odor. Its synonym is malodorous, which means bad odor or foul smelling odor. That we see that if you are keeping the dishes without without cleaning it properly, or it's been kept for a long time, then it will be malodorous. Question number 14. Julia soon discovered the source of the dash smell in the room, a week old tuna sandwich that one of the children had hidden in the closet. 14, and the answer is fatigue. Julia is the subject who discovered the source of the fatigue smell in the room. Fatigue means what? Fatigue means having a foul or offensive odor. Or putrid means someone has discovered the source of bad smell, that is called fetid smell, in the room. A week old tuna sandwich that one of the children had hidden in the closet. So one of the children already hidden that particular sandwich somewhere in the room, and that just because of that it was a 1 week old, so that become fetid, that is giving a bad odor. Getting? Question number 15. After making dash remarks to the president, the reporter was not invited to return to the White House press room. White House press room. Now you should read and understand and tell me. After making dash remarks to the president, if you are making a negative remarks about the president, then what happens? The reporter was not invited to return to the White House press room. If you are making unnecessary, unwanted, irrelevant, irreverent remarks to anyone's, what will happen? He won't feel good and he won't accept your proposals, what kind of it may be. So, question number 15 giving a kind of sentence that happened in the conversation between two people. When you are giving irreverent remarks to anyone's, definitely he won't be happy. So in this question number 15, the answer is irreverent. And what does it mean? It means lacking respect or seriousness, not reverent. Lacking respect. If you don't have respect for your president, you are giving irreverent, even remarks about him. So naturally, nobody like that. And in this particular example, that says because the reporter has given irreverent remarks, because of that, it is not possible to invite him in the White House press room. Let's move. 16. With her dash eyesight, Christiana spotted a trio of deer on the hillside and she reduced the speed of her car. See, we are traveling in the jungle, we are traveling on the road, we sight a different people and even sometimes animals also. So if we have a close watch on particular thing, we focus on that. This example also gives a description like that. With her keen, K-E-E-N, keen eyesight, Christiana spotted a trio of deer, three deer, on the hillside, and she reduced the speed of her car because she saw there are the trio of deer. She reduced the speed of her car. What do you mean? What does it mean for keen? Keen is an adjective, means being extremely sensitive or responsive, having strength or perception. Keen, K-E-E-N, keen means being extremely sensitive. If you are sensitive, then you are having feeling for others. You feel that I'm traveling on the road and there is a trio on the deer. If I don't reduce the speed of my car, there will be accident. So such things happen. So in this particular sentence also, it represents sensitization about the person. So that we have to keep in mind. Keen is a proper answer for question number 16. 17. With an dash green, the boy quickly slipped the candy into his pocket without his mother's knowledge. I read one more time for making you understand. With an dash green, the boy quickly slipped the candy into his pocket without his mother's knowledge. Without his mother's knowledge, boy has kept a particular candy in his pocket. It's a very common example that we have. And what would be the correct answer? Nefarious. Nefarious means wicked, vicious or evil. Getting wicked, vicious or evil. Nefarious. With an nefarious grin, the boy quickly slipped the candy into his pocket without his mother's knowledge. Without mother's knowing, the boy has kept a particular candy in his pocket. So it's a very general example happened in everyday's life. So correct answer is nefarious, which means sometimes it is very naughty. You can even consider as a naughty. Nefarious, which means wicked, vicious or evil. Number 18. Her dash display of tears at work did not impress her new boss, who felt she should try to control her emotions. Her dash display of tears at work did not impress her new boss, who felt she should try to control her emotions. Boss is expecting that his employees should control their emotions. In this particular sentence also, boss is expecting that employee should control her emotions. So example 18 option would be A. Maudine, Maudine, maudlin. Maudlin means excessively and weakly sentiments or tearfully emotional. Excessively and weakly sentimental emotions. Getting me? Means excessively emotion display of tears at work that is not impressed to the boss, and he expect that she should control her emotions at workplace. Number 19. John argued, if you know about a crime but don't report it, you are dash in the crime because you allowed it to happen. Answer would be D. Complicit. John argued, if you know about a crime but don't report it, you are complicit in the crime because you allowed it to happen. Because you are allowing for making it happen, that's why you are also responsible. If you want to know what does it mean, complicit. Complicit is adjective meaning participating in or associate with the questionable act. Questionable act or crime. If you involve in any crime, not directly, indirectly, that means you complicit that act which is related with the crime. Means you are also participating in association with the questionable act. If you are a part of questionable act, that will be considered as a complicit. So option D is the correct for question number 19. I go a little bit faster. I read the sentence now and you will have to give the answers. I hope we are completing almost 20 examples now in this particular slide. You must be getting this. The authorities, fearing dash of their power, called for military state in the hopes of restoring order. Option A is the first one. Subversion. The authorities, fearing of subversion of their power, called for military state in the hopes of restoring order. Option A, which is subversion, means an overthrow as a form as a from the foundation. As a overthrow as a from the foundation. The authorities, fearing subversion of their power, called for military states in the hopes for restoring order. The option A is the correct one. 21. The story's bitter antagonist felt such great dash for all the other characters that as a result his life was very lonely and he died alone. Option 21, answer is B. Malevolence. Malevolence means ill will or malice toward others. Ill will or malice malice towards others. Or you can say hate also. The story's bitter antagonist felt such hate for all the other characters that as a result his life was very lonely and he died alone. 22. Example number. It is difficult to believe that charging 20% on an outstanding credit card balance is not a bankruptcy, usury, novice, plebotonia, or flagrancy. So I think you're getting this one. Usury. Usury means option number B. Usury means is the lending of money and exorbitant interest rate. Exorbitant interest rate means it is difficult to believe that charging 20% of an outstanding credit card balance is not usury. 23. Example number. The dash weather patterns of the tropical island meant tourists had to carry both umbrellas and sunglasses. Now I will give you the answers. 23, option number E, which is kaleidoscopic. What is that? Kaleidoscopic means what? Kaleidoscopic is the adjective which means continually changing or quickly shifting. Getting me? It means continuously changing. If you are continually changing or quickly shifting, that called kaleidoscopic. The kaleidoscopic means continuously changing weather patterns of the tropical island mean tourists had to carry both umbrellas and sunglasses. Sometimes they need to use umbrellas and sometimes they need to use sunglasses because of kaleidoscopic weather patterns. Means changing pattern. Wedding ceremonies often include the exchange of votive rings to symbolize the couple's promises to each other. If you see in the weddings, ceremonies often include the exchange of rings, votive rings. Votive means what? Answer D. Answer E is the correct one, and votive means dedicated by a vow. When the couples exchanging their rings, that means they are dedicated to each other by sharing the rings. So answer E is the correct one. Kim was a dash in choosing her friend, so her parties were attended by vastly different and sometimes bizarre personality. Kim was indiscriminate in choosing her friends, so her parties were attended by vastly different and sometimes bizarre personalities because of his choices of choosing. So answer is B, which means indiscriminate. That meaning is discriminating or choosing randomly, haphazard without distinction, without knowing particular person, without making a particular category. Indiscriminate. Kim was indiscriminate in choosing her friends. That's why in his party, you find any kind of person who is bizarre personalities, or sometimes they are vastly different from one another. Phillips dash tone endeared him to to his comical friends but irritated to his serious father. And the answer would be jesting. Jesting means characterized by making jest, joking, playful. Philip's jesting tone endeared him to his comical friends but irritated to his father. Philip is maybe happy with his friend because of his jesting tone, but he is not able to make his father happy because his father is irritated by his behavior. Brian's pale Irish skin was dashed to burn if he spent too much time in the sun. And answer would be prone. Prone means what? Tendency or inclination to something. Prone means inclination to something. Brian's pale Irish skin was prone to burn if he spent too much time in the sun. A fan of historical fiction, Jolene is now reading a novel about slavery in the D. Option D. Antebellum South. What does it mean? Antebellum means belong to the period before a war. Belonging the period before a war, especially in the American Civil War. Before the American Civil War. So this you will have to keep in your mind. Antebellum. Antebellum is the which meaning which is belonging to before period of war or especially before the American Civil War. So antebellum South. 29. Over the years, the Wilson slowly dashed upon the Jacksons' property, moving the stone markets that divided their lots farther and farther onto the Jacksons' land. Option would be A, to encroach. Encroachment, that we know. And what does it mean? Means to gradually or steadily take the rights or possessions of another, to advance beyond proper formal limits or trespass without proper legal formality. If you encroach somebody's property, that called encroach. Over the years, the Wilsons slowly encroached upon the Jackson's property. ठीक है. 30. Mary became dash at typing because she practiced every day for 6 months. When you practice for 6 months for anything, you will be you will be proficient. Getting me? So proficient is the that means well versed in many business or branch of learning adept. In this case also, Mary became proficient at typing because she practiced every day for 6 months. She has been practiced for 6 months, and that's why she became proficient. Example number 31. To find out what her husband bought for her birthday, Suzanne attempted to dash his family members about his recent shopping excursions. 31. And answer will be to probe. Probe means to investigate, to examine, truly, tentatively survey. Because she wanted to know what her husband bought for her birthday, Susan attempted to probe. Probe means investigation, a bit examination. We can say examination. You are not going to conduct that your exam, but examine truly means she examined truly what he has brought for us. Joan's friend found him in a dash mood after he learned he would be homecoming king. 32. The answer would be jovial. Option A. Jovial means what? Jovial means showing hearty good cheer, marked with the spirit of jolly merriment. John's friends found him jovial mood after he learned he would be homecoming king. He is coming back to him. His John's friends found him jovial means happy or showing hearty good cheer. Example number 33. His suit of armor made the knight dash to his enemy's attack and he was able to escape safety to his castle. And answer is invulnerable. What does it mean? Means incapable of being damaged, wounded, unaccessible, or invincible. His suit of armor made the knight invulnerable to his enemy's attack, and he was able to escape safely to his castle. As he able to escape from his castle, escape safely to his castle because of his invulnerable attack. 34. Choosing a small dash fuel efficient car is a dash purchase for recent college graduate. This may be related with the students, and that is judicious. What does it mean? Judicious means being wise or prudent, showing good judgment or sensible. When somebody shows good judgment, that person called judicious. choosing a small fuel efficient car is a judicious purchase for recent college graduate. If you purchase something which is very helpful for you, which is not so expensive, which is matchable to your demand, then it can be considered as judicious. Okay. 35, example number 35. Dash such a dash violation of school policy should be punished by nothing less than expulsion. Answer is flagrant. What does it mean? Flagrant means conspicuously and outrageous, bad, offensive, reprehensible. Such a flagrant such a flagrant violation of school policy should be punished by nothing less than expulsion. If you behave like that, that kind of if you behave if you violate such a kind of rules, that time it will be considered flagrant, which means conspicuously, outrageously bad. So option B is the correct one. 36. With all the recent negative events in her life, she felt dash forces must be at work. Option C, malignant. What does it mean? Malignant means depose to cause distress or inflict suffering intentionally, inclining the product death and injuries inflammation. So malignant is the correct answer. We should move next for 37. The dash rumors did a great deal of damage even though they turned out to be false. Option C, which means apocryphal. The apocryphal rumors. There are several rumors we get every day, about everything we get every day, and that called apocryphal rumors did a great deal of damage even though they turn out to be false. Even the rumor was false, and the answer is apocryphal. That means questionable authenticity or doubtful authority, fictitious false. Getting me? Questionable authenticity means without having a proof. If you are making a rumors about somebody and after that they turn out as a false, that time we use such kind of word. So apocryphal rumors, which is that means not, there is no truth in the rumor. When her schoolwork got to be too much, Palm had a tendency to dash, which always put her further behind. Option E, to procrastinate means to put off from day to day. Means you are procrastinate, you are not doing today's work on time, you procrastinate for the next day. So is to put off from day to day. You are putting this from day to day. When her schoolwork got to be too much, Palm had to tendency to procrastinate, which always put her further behind. This is the reason that she is always lacking. She is putting behind because she is not doing her work on time. So you also should remember, if you complete your work in today, then you would be able to get something. If you not, then again you will be, somebody will put you behind. Rach's glance was a dash invitation to speak later in private about events in the meeting. Tacit. Tacit means what? Means unspoken yet understood. Even it is unspoken but understood. Rach's glance was a tacit invitation to speak later in private about events of the meeting. Sometimes it happened, we don't speak but others will understood. That time we can use tacit. And Rach's glance was a tacit. Glance means she shown like that only. Example number 40. She reached the dash of her career with her fourth novel, which won the Pulitzer Prize. And option B is the correct one. Apogee. Apogee means what? Means the highest or farthest point. Highest or farthest point means she got the orbit success where a satellite is the greatest one, highest one. Getting? She reached the she reached the apogee. Apogee means the highest success, tallest, as we consider the tallest, the highest one. She is the apogee of her career. Means she is in the advanced stage of her career with her fourth novel, which won the Pulitzer Prize. Means she is the top of the success. Apogee. 41. The dash townspeople celebrated the soldier's return to his home by adorning trees with yellow ribbons and balloons. The answer would be the jubilant townspeople celebrated. Jubilant. Jubilant means what? Rejoicing, expressing joyfulness. When we celebrate something, people feel happy, they participate in that activity, they feel happy, they feel joyful. That's why we use jubilant townspeople celebrated. The governor elect was haunted by a group of dash lobbyists and others hoping to gain favor with her administration. Answer would be D. D. That is called fawning, and fawning means attempting to win favor. Attempting to win favor. If you want to get favor, you will use fawning. Okay? The governors elect was hounded by a group of fawning lobbyists and others hoping to gain favor. Because you want to gain favor, that time we use fawning. Example number 43. The mock graduation ceremony with a trained skunk posing as the college president was a complete dash that offended many college officials. Travesty. Travesty that offended many college officials. What does it mean? Means a parody or a grotesque imitation with the intent to ridicule. Travesty. 44. The busy dash fabric of the clown's tie matched his oversized jacket, which was equally atrocious. And the answer is option A, mottled. And what does it mean? Means blotch or spotted with different color shades. Mottled, spotted with different color shade. The busy mottled fabric of the clown's tie matched his oversized jacket, which was equally atrocious. Let's move because of we have to move on the next one. Kendrick's talent dash under the tutelage of Anais Kolang, who is a young woman, had been the most accomplished pianist in her native Lithuania. Answer would be C. That is called a flourished. Flourish is to be, that means to be in a state of high productivity. Okay, so that's why we are using flourish. Example number 46. The children were dashed by the seemingly nonsensical clues until Kinnan pointed out that the messages were in code. Options E will be the correct one. Flummoxed. What does it mean? Flummoxed means is to confused, perplex, or bewilder. Means confused. You need to understand that the children were confused by the seemingly nonsensical clues until Kinnan pointed out that the messages were in code. 47 number, question number 47 we are discussing. As the dash in Romeo and Juliet, Romeo is a hero able to capture the audience sympathy by continually professing his love for Juliet. Option A would be the correct one, that is called protagonist. Protagonist, that means main character in a drama. As the protagonist in Romeo and Juliet, Romeo is a hero able to capture the audience sympathy because he was able to capture the audience sympathy by continually professing his love for Juliet. So protagonist is the main character in a drama. We are talking about Romeo and Juliet drama. 48. The chess master promised to dash havoc upon his opponent's pawns for taking his bishop. 48. The answer would be A. To wreck. To wreck means what? Means to inflict as a revenge or punishment, as a revenge or a punishment upon his opponent's pawns for taking his bishop. Second last, I have always admired Cena's dash. I have never seen him rattled by anything. Example number 49 is aplomb. Aplomb means what? Aplomb means in self-assurance, composure, poise, especially under strain. Self-assurance. I have always admired Cena's self-assurance. I have never seen him rattled by anything. So you will have to understand this one. Aplomb. Option number A is the correct one. The last example that we are going to discuss in this lecture, the soldiers received a military dash or blank to inspect all their vehicles before traveling. Before traveling, what we do? We examine, we checked, or we mandate. What does it mean? Mandate means a command or authoritative instruction. Before we are traveling, we give the authoritative instruction, mandate. The soldiers received a military mandate to inspect all the vehicles before traveling. These are all the 50 examples we have discussed in sentence completion section in GATE 2021 2021 examination. I hope all you are getting. If you are not getting, still you need to practice it well, because it is not possible just for watching particular thing and you are getting the thing at a time, but still something you can observe through this lecture. I hope at least 10% you understood. You need to read more. Still you are having a lot of time in this particular section. If you want to improve, please read a lot. You please develop your vocabulary whenever you are getting a chance, whenever you are having a free time. Read a lot, because if you see, we have discussed 50 examples, and in these 50 examples we have learned a very common thing, that is vocabulary. Vocabulary plays very important role. You need to know what does it mean, because options would be given, at least 4-5 options would be given to you to choose the correct answers, but you need to know what does it mean. If you know the meaning of the word, then definitely you can fix it properly and you would be able to solve the all questions which is coming in the verbal ability section. Thank you so much for patience listening to me. If you're having queries, you can ask me, even we can discuss on WhatsApp. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much.